Welcome to Noccalula Falls near Gadsden, Alabama. This location is located on the southwest corner of Lookout Mountain. Lookout Mountain is a large syncline that runs up towards Chattanooga in Tennessee. This location is at the lower portion of the Pottsville Formation. You can reach it from the parking lot at the top, following the trail through the campground, and then a small walkway will lead down the outcrop to a path that will get you under the waterfall. Be careful, it is very slick under here. So along the trail down to the base of the waterfall, which you can access through it's a city park associated with Noccalula Falls. You get to walk down through this transect of the lower Pottsville. So the Pottsville Formation is a Pennsylvanian sandstone down low that transitions into interbedded sandstones and mudstones higher up. The depositional environment interpretation of that is that these are barrier island complexes down low, and then once you get up top, you have this transition towards this meandering fluvial system that has interbedded coals. Now, one question is, where does all this sediment come from? So this is one of the youngest rocks we're going to see on this trip. So this records Pennsylvanian sedimentation into this large basin during the late Paleozoic. So if we look at the composition of the sandstones, these are very clean quartz arenite sandstones down low. And that doesn't tell you a lot, because in a barrier island complex, you might be moving sand around a lot, which means you can get really, really mature compositionally sands because you're just weathering them as they're being deposited. The detrital zircon geochronology of the Pottsville is very interesting. So if you were to look at the spectrum, which is figure 8 in the field guide, you would see you have a couple of older grains, about 2.7 billion years old, some grains between about 1.3 and 2 billion years, and then a large population of about 1.1 to 1.2 billion year old grains, which we associate with the Grenville origin. Now, Grenville origin grains are pretty common. You can find them just about anywhere in at least North America, but you can actually find them all over the world. And so we don't necessarily have a lot of control when we see just Grenville grains. It pretty much means that we're near continental rocks in Laurentia. Now, what's really interesting is those younger grains. That small peak is about 410 million years old, and so there's not a very distinctive 410 or 415 million year old zircon source in the southern Appalachians as we know it now. So if you're trying to find that source, the closest thing in the current paleogeography would be the northern Appalachians. So one of the distinguishing characteristics of the Pottsville Formation, specifically the lower part of the Pottsville Formation, is you find lots of these little pebbles that are really common. And the underlying unit, at least when mapped, doesn't have any of those pebbles. So that's one of the things we'll use to map and split out the Pottsville from the underlying clastic units, is the appearance of these pebbles. And it's really cool. In a lot of places, you can find crossbeds with the pebbles in the crossbeds.